Добро пожаловать в Animals. Меня зовут Megabucks.
И меня зовут Tycoon.
On today's episode of Disney Showdowns, it's Milo versus Roarke. Honestly, these two couldn't be more different if they tried. Milo's a 20-something nerd. He hangs out at museums, he's good at languages, he's really smart, but book smart.
And Roarke is this gray-haired, muscle-bound military guy. You'd think he'd be easy to take advantage of, that he's all brawn and no brain. But no, he's not just a hired gun. He's got years of experience on Milo. And Milo's just this lanky little nerd with big glasses. So Roarke's probably thinking he's got it in the bag.
I don't blame Roarke for thinking he's gonna win this showdown. Like, yeah, Milo's smart, but he's dumb with people. And that's Roarke's advantage, because Roarke is really good with people. He seems really nice, like he's looking out for you, like he's everyone's dad. But really, he's a shark. He's leading the expedition like he cares about making big discoveries, but really he just wants money.
And you gotta wonder, you know how the entire crew was mean to Milo in the beginning? I wonder if Roarke trash-talked Milo behind his back. He kinda sat the team together and said, guys, it's us against him. He's just a loser. We don't really need him on our expedition. We're just bringing him along because that old fart told us to. So then everyone just resented Milo because they're all like, well, he probably just got in because of nepotism.
It makes total sense that Roarke would do this, because he's a master manipulator. He had Helga thinking he was on her side. Then he threw her off the hot air balloon and the rest is history.
See, Helga should have taken Milo's side. I guess it was her loss.
The problem is that Helga thought that since she and Roarke were both in the military, they were going to support each other. They were both in the same unit, probably working in special ops with the Navy Ranger Delta SEALs or whatever, and then they teamed up to exploit Atlantis. But at the end of the day, when it came to Helga or a $2 bill, he picked the $2 bill.
Same, I would have done the same thing. I gotta love how Milo used his smarts to outwit Roarke though. He didn't take a bodybuilding class, get super buff, and then take Roarke down. He used his brain.
Yeah, Milo's a linguist, so he used his language skills to convince the group to turn on Roarke. But make no mistake, what he did, it wasn't easy. He was the most unpopular guy on the crew, and yet he ends up making all these friends out of people who formerly hated him. They realize that he's a good guy. They need to stop being jerks to him. He helps them grow a conscience too, because Milo was like, look, are we going to use all these innocent people to make lots of money? And they were like, heck yeah, we are. But later, when they were alone at night, they were like, are we? Are we?
How were they able to sleep at night knowing that they were on Team Roarke instead of Team Milo? I mean, you have to know where your priorities lie, people.
And Roarke does. Roarke knows where his priorities lie. Because yeah, Roarke is evil, but you have to look at it from Roarke's perspective. Roarke's probably got a wife and some kids in college back home. Now he needs to pay for these kids' education. He doesn't want them to be knee-deep in college debt like the rest of us.
Maybe Roarke gambled all his money away and now he's like, this is my last-ditch attempt. If we don't find Atlantis and exploit that jewel, everything I love, everything I fought so hard to protect, which is my family, even though I was an irresponsible father, is at stake here.
See, he wasn't irresponsible though. He was sailing the seas, and he was away on these expeditions for years just to provide for his family. Now he's 55 and he's sick of it. He wants to just stay home and read the newspaper.
Yeah, maybe he wants to take in an early retirement. It's sad because his kids probably complain. Like, hey dad, why are you never around? Maybe when he looks at Milo, he sees the people his children could have been. Because Milo had his grandpa as his paternal figure while he was growing up. Roarke's kids had no one.
You'd think that Milo would understand where Roarke is coming from. He values college. He has a degree in philology. But Milo doesn't seem to understand. He doesn't sympathize with Roarke at all. It just makes him look really self-centered. I don't like this about Milo. Did Milo ever think to ask Roarke about his family? No. Milo is so busy with the Dead Sea Scrolls or whatever.
Yeah, Milo does have the tendency, like all geniuses, to be so obsessed with his work. Kind of like that kid in Meet the Robinsons. He's so consumed by the quest and by knowledge that he forgets about everything else. He doesn't consider Roarke's side of things.
Yeah, Milo's doing it for his dead grandpa. But his grandpa's dead. Roarke is alive. He still has a chance to spend time with his kids. Just like Milo's grandpa used to hang out with Milo.
Look, even if Roarke didn't have kids, Maybe he just wanted to have a comfortable retirement, Like we all know the Social Security program, it's a failure. It's not gonna put food on the table for him. His pension plan's gonna be dry soon.
Now, Helga was more the villain. She seemed to enjoy hurting people. I don't know if she was even doing it for the money. I noticed Helga got a kick out of kicking things.
I always got the feeling that Helga was like Tomb Raider. Lara Croft, if she became evil and decided to go on these expeditions to exploit.
Okay, but she actually does. Lara does exploit.
But I thought she was a good person.
Look, she's a Tomb Raider, which means she steals. It's a gray area. She has a degree in archaeology, but, she's gone broke. Regardless, Lara always pays the native populations she runs into. She contributes to the local economy. When she enters an airport, she pays the service fee. Like, sure, she steals relics for sport, but she's not robbing and shooting at local people unlike some people.
We're looking at you, Helga. And Angelina Jolie also adopts children in foreign countries. I don't see Helga doing any of that. I don't see Helga going to Atlantis to adopt one of those white-haired children.
And Helga has no qualms about using her looks to get her way. She tries to make Milo nervous deliberately. That was a jerk move, because he was nervous enough.
Yeah, she gave him a peek of that shoulder. And Milo's a nerd. This is more action than he's seen in a decade. He didn't know that he was gonna hook up with a gorgeous glamazon like Kida. He thought, well, I gotta take my chances. I'm not getting any younger. My glasses are getting bigger. Little did he know that Helga was gonna turn out to be Roarke.
The thing with Kida is that Kida's a lot like Helga, but good. Because Kida can kick ass and stuff, but Kida's heart is in the right place. She's doing it to protect her people, or help her people, or something for her people. She's thinking like a real queen. So then she sees Milo, and she's impressed, because Milo's not even Atlantean, but he's standing up to Roarke, one of his own kind, to save Kida's people.
I think Kida's dad could actually be seen as a villain, because he was stubbornly holding on to his jewels. It's good, because he instantly approved of Milo, because Milo was helping a brother out.
He kind of didn't have a choice. He had to give Milo his due. Kind of like Powhatan had to give John Smith his blessing when John took a bullet for him. So Milo pulled a Smith. But the real question that remains is this. Should Roarke win or should Milo? Because they're pretty even here. They've both got their pros and they've both got their cons.
I'm gonna go with the whole philosophical idea of the greater good. You have to serve the greater good, and that's what Milo did. He saved all those people. Poor Roarke. He was only thinking of himself, and that's why he lost.
The thing with Roarke is that if he'd even made one phone call home, he could have been justified. But he didn't. He didn't even write one letter.
I think it would have been more compelling if Roarke had been trying to save the rest of the world from Atlantis, and Atlantis was actually evil, and it deserved to be buried underwater. Roarke would have been like, we have to take this power away from them because they're evil. We have to stomp them out. Unfortunately, the Atlantis people weren't bothering anyone. They were just doing their own thing.
So Milo wins, because as Steve Jobs and Bill Gates have shown, nerds rule the world.
Sorry, Roarke. Better luck next time. That concludes Disney Showdowns, Milo vs. Roarke. If you watched all the Showdowns, check out our Disney Meet the Parents series. We recommend starting backwards with episode 4, Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde.